You mentioned several potential threats to financial stability. Do you see digital and cryptocurrencies as one? And if so, what should be done to manage them?
Thank you, Paolo, for the question, and of course, thank you for being with you today. We, from the IMF perspective, are indeed concentrated on macroeconomic and financial stability. Whether we talk about climate shocks or pandemic or the digital developments, it is from that perspective how that would impact macroeconomic and financial stability. When we look at the world of digitalization, digital currencies, of course, are a very important part of it. Before the pandemic, remember, we used to say the future is digital. With the pandemic, the future has arrived, and very prominently in the world of money. So let me first talk about the opportunities that this presents. We are now in a position to fairly quickly accelerate transfers of money to make it seamless and less costly. But to do so, we need to be clear about what do we mean by digital money first. When we look at this universe, the most reliable are central bank digital currencies. Why? Because they have the backing of the state and they are integrated in the monetary policy thinking of a state. Central bank digital currencies are still a novelty. In fact, there is only one in existence at this point. The Bahamas issued their cent dollar, the first country to have central bank digital currency, but they're going to be quite prominent. We did a survey of our membership, and it was very impressive. 110 countries are at some stage of looking into CBDCs, into central bank digital currencies. So that is going to be moving quite rapidly. And of course, that presents on its own a very important question. How do we guarantee interoperability of central bank digital currencies? How we make sure that we coordinate globally the impact that they may have on monetary policy. The second component of digital money are stable coins and e-money. They're privately issued, but they are convertible to national currency one-to-one. M-Pesa in Kenya or USD in the United States. They have backing in assets, they're liquid, and in that sense, they do fill the digital a gap in privately issued money. And then comes the third category of money that is actually called money, but is de facto assets, like bitcoins. They are a privately issued, but not backed by assets, means of holding value. And this value is more volatile. It may go up. It may drop down. And in that sense, in the history of money, it is difficult to think of them as money. So my biggest point up to now is we have to differentiate and not amalgamate all these three into one if we are to understand the risks. When we think about the critical issues to consider, number one is trust. Is the public believing in digital, in CBDC, in stable coins? Is the private sector believing that this is a means of exchange that they can trust? And of course, legal frameworks are critical. Institutional frameworks are critical for this trust. The second issue is domestic stability. Is this going to help to have more stable economic transactions? Can we have carefully designed public-private partnerships that provide for the economy rather than put it more on rocks? And the last one is where the IMF and other institutions like BIS come international stability. We have to have regulation. We have to get rules in place if we want, in the world of money, digital to be a plus rather than a risk. And it is very impressive how much the international community, the central banks, institutions like ours are now actively engaged to make sure that in this fast-moving world of digitalization, money is a source of confidence and helps the economy function rather than a risk.